For months, companies like Facebook and Twitter have been taking heat for their inability or unwillingness to regulate toxic content, from fake news stories to blatant incitement of violence. This week, the giants of tech took a stand, cracking down on InfoWars' Alex Jones. But it turns out the move isn't quite as courageous as it looks. Adam Riley has more.
Get out of the road, New World Order! Get out of my mind!
Alex Jones of InfoWars is a bizarre figure. Part buffoon, part pernicious conspiracy theorist. He's claimed that the government controls the weather, that 9/11 was an inside job, and that the Sandy Hook school shooting was fake.
The whole thing is a giant hoax.
But this week, in what seemed like a moment of reckoning, some of the biggest names in tech said they weren't going to give Jones a platform anymore.
Apple, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Pinterest, and LinkedIn have all removed material from Jones and his InfoWars site. They claim he violated policies against hate speech.
As it turns out, though, that rebuke had some big limitations. Google and Apple stopped distributing Jones's videos and podcasts, but not the InfoWars app, which promptly skyrocketed in popularity. What's more, Twitter took no action, a decision CEO Jack Dorsey defended.
We do not shadow ban according to political ideology or viewpoint or content, period.
Dorsey also said if Jones or anyone else spreads bad information, journalists should just debunk it, prompting one journalist to tweet back, if only journalists had publicized the fact that the Sandy Hook murders did indeed take place. Thanks, Jack. Meanwhile, Jones is spinning the sanctions into, you guessed it, another conspiracy theory.
This is the agenda they're pushing that is being funded by Communist China.
Do we really have to debunk that?
Yeah, so is this an empty move, Dan? Because if you can still download the app, then you still get all the content. It's just that they're not pushing the content out. So what's the meaning of this?
There's something very strange about this whole debate because you don't need the app either. He still has one of the most popular websites out there. Nobody is talking about taking down his website. When you talk about the app for mobile, I tested the website today. The website reformats very nicely for mobile. So if Apple decides to take it down, it doesn't make any difference. This is about the extra amplification that these platforms give you, Facebook, Apple through its App Store, and all these other things. It's not a matter of censoring him. It's not a matter of making it impossible for him to get his message out. If his followers really like him that much, he's probably going to continue to have tens of millions of visitors to his website.
But isn't it a good
month.
sign? At least taking a stand on something.
Yes, it is a good sign, and you do get that extra amplification. His voice is louder because of the platforms than it would be if he were completely on his own. But it's not like he's going away.
It gives him a new chance to monetize what he's saying because the app is a way to make money. The app is a way to collect data on the people who use the app. And it just shows, you look at the ad for the app, it says censored over his mouth, fight the bullies. So it's clear that they're looking to cash in on this, and they were ready to do that right away.
I think what's ironic about this is that the stories about censorship and InfoWars have gotten him as much or more publicity as anything on social media would have done. The very fact that we're talking about him is in a sense, it should be a little bit troubling. I do think that
skip this segment.
Twitter is absolutely should be held to account for making not only a stupid decision not to take him down, but a decision that's in direct contrast to the user agreements that everybody is supposed to sign. There's no question that InfoWars violates the user agreement. Should have been no question that Twitter would take him off. However, this is the best thing that has happened to Alex Jones, I think, probably since InfoWars was started, because everybody now talks about it.
Well, the best thing since Megyn Kelly, who gave him a platform as well, as you know. Right. So I would say a couple of things. First of all, you're all right about he's not gone away, but people were going to find him anyway. He was going to find ways to find them. That's the nature of the business. And I just can't be clear enough, though. This is very different from a Sarah Jeong or anybody else we'll discuss. This guy is a creation of his own making, and I think it's important while we're talking about censorship and Alex Jones to remind people exactly what he has done and what he says. I want to remind people that this is the guy that allowed a man to drive for hundreds of miles to Virginia because he believed that there was a pedophile ring in the bottom of a pizza place in D.C., and if it weren't that he was a bad shot and people hadn't seen him, he could have killed people because he was following what Alex Jones said. And Jones stood by that story until he was sued. And then he said, that was satire.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Just to bring my whole thing full circle. That was satire. I was amusing. I'm a performer. He is all of that and worse. So everybody should have been paying attention in this way. I think what Twitter is trying to do, I agree with you, Tom, is to try to go back to a barn door that's long been closed. This was at one time social media with no news information on it. We are long past that. You have to take responsibility. And Twitter's also known for not stepping up when women have been trolled and attacked online.
True.
So
That's
I can't
every
say
day.
enough about Twitter. You're not looking good here.
You're making a very good point that this has nothing to do with point of view. This is dangerous conspiracy theories.
There you go.